Hey guys, welcome back to the #1 Adirondack hiking YouTube channel. And today, instead of hiking, we're gonna be talking backcountry skiing. Many of you have asked for a video going over gear, how to get into backcountry skiing. And well, today I'm at High Peak Cyclery and we're gonna go over a plethora of skis, basics with cross-country, backcountry to your alpine touring setups, and everything in between. As I mentioned, I'm at High Peak Cyclery, which does carry everything you're gonna see here in the video, in the store. So if you guys want to learn more about backcountry skiing and get your hands on some of these setups, come to Lake Placid, come to High Peak Cyclery, and the staff here would be happy to help you out. And if you love Adirondack content at all, summer or winter, this is the channel to be a part of. It is the first week of January 2024, and we have a lot of snow in the forecast, upwards of 3 feet potentially above 4,000 feet. So this is prime time to get into the backcountry, buy a pair of skis, and start skiing your heart out. I'm gonna transition the video now to Derek, who's gonna give you guys a rundown of all the different types of skis and bindings and boots.
Hi, Derek Russell here with High Peak Cyclery. Backcountry skiing can be anything from a metal edge, skinny ski that can be great to ski out to Marcy Dam on the truck road, to going into a little bit fatter cross-country ski with scales that could be great to go ski up to Avalanche Pass. Also with the Fisher S-Bound, it has an attachable plate where you can put a kicker skin or even a full length skin on it if you're doing longer climbs. For instance, going up the toll road for a 7-mile climb, you can just have a little bit more security as you plant your weight down on each step. Going up from this ski, we kind of go into the Volet models, which they can come with scales. Some do not have scales, but the models that we mostly carry do. This can be used with a tele binding to a alpine touring binding. So the big difference with the Volets and the S-Bounds, they're both fatter cross-country, backcountry skis, but the Volet with the scale pattern is gonna allow itself to still arc and carve down a descent, to where the S-Bound has such a strong camber pocket, it does not arc, but it will give you better kick and glide and tracking to cover ground. Going away from one of our best utility skis, being the Volets with scales for all around use, and then we can get into something that is more focused on the ultra lightweight touring ski. Going into these Zags and a pair of lightweight alpine touring bindings and a pair of ski boots, we could be potentially in the whole kit under 8 pounds. Going into a pair of DPSs, we gained a little bit of weight from the Zags, but we're still in a very lightweight chassis. Something I would not want to use at a resort every day, especially if it's frozen over. You will feel all the terrain under you because they take out a lot of the dampening material. And as we slowly go up, we can be going into our all mountain skis, which are definitely can be resort focused, but could still be set up with an alpine touring binding or tele binding and still explore the backcountry. And from the touring to the all mountain skis are skis that you could potentially be used on the slides in the Adirondacks, to skinning up Whiteface early morning and skiing down as part of their uphill program. If I was to have one ski setup to enjoy resort access and backcountry use, I would probably be leaning towards this DPS RP 100 underfoot ski. And I would be putting it with a Dynafit rotation binding, just because it's one of the safer tech bindings. And I could do lift access with that as well as touring. These are all the ranges of what backcountry ski bindings might be, from cross-country skiing to Marcy Dam from the far left, and transitioning all the way to skiing the most gnarly slides in the Adirondacks. So it really does take having a conversation with a professional that understands all the different equipment and having a conversation of what your goals are for your ability. The footwear does cover a wide range of different options, and really with having that conversation with us really helps steers us from going into a BC N&N boot all the way up to tele boots to alpine touring boots as well. So it is a wide conversation between all these skis of making sure you're having the best backcountry ski setup for what your needs are.
Thanks, Derek, for that information. I wanted to take a moment here to share with you guys my personal favorite ski. This is the ski that I started out on, and frankly, I think it's one of the best things out there. Now, of course, backcountry skiing is a multifaceted sport. There is quite literally hundreds of combinations you can have, from the bindings to the boots, to the type of ski, to the underfoot, to the length. There's so many different things. So that's why it's important to talk to a ski expert, and we can't really get everything in on this one video. But if you are looking to go shred some high peak trails, not necessarily slide skiing, but be able to go do some technical alpine touring, backcountry skiing, well, this right here just might be your ski. This is the Voile Hypervector BC. I love Voile. I've been to their factory in Utah, but this ski particularly is extremely lightweight. It has the scales, and the scales are awesome for rolly terrain where you can actually go uphill with the skis without needing to put your skins on, up to a certain angle, maybe 10 degrees depending on snow conditions. Of course, you can put the skin on it as well, which helps you go up much steeper terrain. This ski is light and fast, especially when you put an alpine touring binding on it like this. This is the Salomon MTN Pure. It's super lightweight, and you can use a binding like this at the resort. It's not the best resort binding, but if you're trying to get a ski that is a combination, you can go ahead and get something like the Salomon Shift. With this right here, you could take something here, for example, like the Scarpa Maestrale, take a binding like this, it would hook, clip in right there in the front. It allows you to stay in walk mode. And then when you're ready to ski down, it just rotates like that. And then the heel of the boot lock in place, and you can ski down your descent. Voile is one of the most popular skis used out here. The reason why I wouldn't recommend a ski like this for slides is because it's very light. It's also chattery on ice. The scales kind of slow you down a bit. If you are looking to get into alpine touring, backcountry, the one thing you want to be considerate of is where you are going to ski. If you're going out west, you might want something that is more powder oriented. Here in the east, we do get powder, but most of the time you're going to find consolidated snow depths, 6 to 12 inches, maybe on average, unless you're going way deep in the backcountry, where then a powder ski would probably be favorable. For those who are not quite educated on ski designs with an alpine touring setup, you want to be conscientious of the underfoot and rocker of a ski. The underfoot is the central width of a ski. The narrower it is, the less float. The wider it is, the more float. I recommend finding anything between 95 and 105 for pure backcountry. The next important feature is also the rocker ski. The rocker is the flare of the tip of the ski. You can see here there is a lot of flare on this, which is the RP chassis by DPS. And then something that might have less flare, such as this C2 chassis. The rocker will dictate how well your ski will carve and float as well over that powder. More rocker would be better for powder skiing, less rocker would be better for less powder. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. There is so much information and things to learn about for the backcountry skiing world. Again, come to High Peak Cyclery if you want to learn more about that and talk to one of the employees. They'd be glad to help you out here. I'm Jonathan Zaharek. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss all of the fun winter backcountry skiing videos that are going to be coming your way. We'll see you next time.